We were just on Instagram where we moved a live Massasauga rattlesnake. But man, you guys have been with me a lot longer than Instagram. So I got you. What we're going to do here today is we're going to move a lot bigger live Western diamondback. So hopefully a few people show up so we can do this. I kind of put this out there without any warning I was going to do it. But we're going to be moving our hypermelanistic Western diamondback. Why? It's shed and it's shit everywhere. So it's two things I got to take care of. Easiest way to do that would be, obviously, to clean the snake up. So, to get that out of my way, while we wait on a few people, there's a couple things we used in the last Instagram video. If you just watched that, what's up, David? We used this hook. This hook is probably going to be a little bit small for what we're going to do. Thank you, Safi. I appreciate that. For what we're going to be doing today and what we're going to be working with. So let me get a bigger hook. We'll have this one here just in case. This is a big enough snake that we'll want all of our tools necessary, which does need a pair of tongs as well. But I happen to have all of that right over here. We're then also going to be using a trash can like this to put this snake in. So, oh, it's already getting jumpy. Last time I took this snake out, it was a very, very jumpy snake. Very, very, wanted to move around a lot, which I found to be a little surprising. So, that's what we're going to work with. I am doing great, Safi and Caleb. How's it going? I saw you on there. Hey, guys. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to set you up the same way I set up Instagram. I will not be able to respond to comments. I will not be able to see them, so have a little bit of grace with me on that. We're going to try to take the snake out, put it in our trash can, and then we'll talk a little bit with you while I do some cleaning, and then we'll probably put it back on camera. It shouldn't take long to clean. It's just, honest to God, guys, it's the fact that it's got a lot of skin in there I want to get out. And I can't do have a snake in there. And I thought, why not? Let's have some fun. So, oh, Kurt's going to yell at me. Guys, Kurt's on here. He would normally be running the camera, but he's not today. So if he saw what I was doing, how I was doing this, he'd probably be like, what the hell are you doing, Matt? So let me spin this around. Ooh, this ain't working as well as the Instagram. You know what? Can I go higher? If I could go on a higher surface. Okay, bear with me. It is not going to work the same way, but I've got a way to work it. I've got a way to work it. By the way, we will be doing Reaper soon, but Reaper isn't shed. So I can't do Reaper. But I bet, I don't break my equipment here. Yeah, close enough. I bet if I grab, say hi Reaper, this trash can, the height will be much better. So just hang on. Here we go. It worked before in a lower cage. The problem is a bigger safety device that I'm using for a bigger snake makes it not work so well. This is why camera guy Kurt's so valuable. He presets everything up, and I guarantee you I'm going to get yelled at. That's okay. Ain't the first time. Will not be the last. So, good picture of the door. There we are. All right, so here we go. That will be the snake we'll be moving. Also, something else I do is just in case like my wife or somebody would come over, I do lock the door in here so I get no surprises. So that is one of them deals. Boom. There we go. We're back. I can see comments. So let's do it. Let's move this thing out. I'm going to go around the long way. First things first, unlock the cage. And then we're going to, again, set this kind of right by there. With a little luck, the snake will help out. Also, always think about what you're doing, because I just now realized some of my safety equipment is not where I could get to it if I need it. So there we are. There we are. Time to rock and roll. This is a hyper-melanistic Western, and it is a very fresh shed Western. See what I mean? Squirrely. Squirrely's okay. Nope, got you. So there we are. Woohoo! Get on the hook there, little one. One, hypermelanistic, not wanting to cooperate. Western diamondback for you. We'll go ahead and drop that in our trash can. Seal that down. I'll bring you up here, talk to you for a few minutes while we do a little bit of our cleaning. Because I'll be honest, you guys are kind of sitting on the trash can, so I cannot clean with you on there. All right, guys, so how was that? See, not too shabby at all, right? Pretty simple. Hopefully this thing's still going live. It says it is, and you guys didn't miss that. So this can does latch. We can just set it to the side. Bring out our other trash can. The full purple, so yeah, basically there's a big football game today, and it's teams I'm not a fan of. So in protest of my football team sucking, I elected to wear purple. So now all we're going to do is, when we got this out, when you do a rattlesnake cage, do a little more on it, because you don't want to have to be in these venomous cages every single day. So you want to make sure you have a pretty good service to the cage when you're in there. You know, we're going to throw the water dish in the trash. We're going to dump all that. We'll probably hose it out before we put it back in. Do those sorts of things. I'll end up taking and wiping down the plexiglass just to make sure the view is good and clean, because it's one of my favorite snakes. Oh, well, they're not playing every Sunday now, so I guess that's kind of true. And, you know, here's the thing for venomous snakes for me, guys. We got a really cool video coming up. Well, it's not filmed yet. Kurt and I just kind of talked about the idea. I won't ruin it all for you. But it's going to kind of go over, in some ways, some of the thought processes on why we keep them. What both of us think, you know, where both of us come from on it. And you'll be surprised, I think, to find that we're a little different on it. So, you know, it'll be, I think, interesting, because I'm going to come from one way. He'll be coming from another. So, yes, I did lock myself in a room with a loose venomous snake. Here's the thing, though. The lock on this side of the room isn't a key. It's just a simple turn. So even if I had something really bad happen, I could easily open the door. And the first job you have, if you're keeping a venomous snake, and should something go south, you say I even got bit, job one for me is to control that animal. So it's to put that animal back and lock it back up in something, whether it's a bucket, the trash can, whatever, make it safe before I were to seek help for myself, so those who come to help me aren't in risk. So that's why we do lock ourselves in the room. It's really not going to slow me down getting out. The thing that would be a really major risk to death very quick would be anaphylactic shock. We do actually carry an EpiPen. So if we found we were allergic, and I say we, it's me, and I was going into anaphylactic shock, I could fix that very fast without any issue whatsoever. So there's really not a major issue that door is going to slow me down on. I mean, I'm 20 minutes from a hospital, so 10 seconds on that door is nothing. So we're going to be okay. So that is why I do understand the concern, but my main concern is somebody else coming here unexpected, walking down the stairs, and I happen to have a snake on the floor that didn't hook well, and then they walk into a bad situation. Now, I owe it to whoever's coming to this house, whether it's my wife, whether it's Kurt, whether it's anybody, that if I'm doing something to make sure they're safe, the only way I can do that is to seal that up so nobody can make entry without knocking. There's only 2 keys to this room. I have one, and Kurt has one. So that's it. All right, anything else you guys got? Any questions you want to know about a onesie that I first started? No, it's just a pair of sweatpants. It's Sunday, you know, I'm relaxed and chilled. Of course, right? I mean, I'm going to be as safe as I can, right? No, they don't chase people, Daniel, but this snake's been on the floor before, and where's one place it may run? It may very well run to the door, and if it runs to the door and somebody's coming down there and it's already, you know, I mean, stressed out, that's where bad things can happen. They don't typically chase people. They also, though, if I don't secure it and I get bit and it's hiding underneath something, somebody comes to help me, you know, they may get bit in the process. So it's all about, I choose to put myself in these risks. I choose to take this risk. I choose for it to be on me. My wife didn't really choose it. She stuck with it. You know, truth be told, Kurt didn't really choose, hey, let's keep a bunch of venomous snakes. So I owe it to those folks to make sure that I do everything I can to keep them as safe as possible. Or should a first responder have to come get my dumb ass, to keep them as safe as possible too. So I think any responsible snake keeper, that's the situation you're in, right? Where you take the risk. It's like driving a race car. You take the risk, you know. It's just the way it works. All right, anything else, guys? If not, I'm gonna. Well, I told you I put this thing back, but let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hop off to take it out so I can finish cleaning. I want to go wash some things, but I won't be by my phone, and then I'll jump onto a Patreon, and I will put this snake back in its enclosure on Patreon. Which venomous snakes makes me the most nervous when moving it? Excuse me, I've been breathing a lot of damn coconut fibers today. That is without a doubt my red Western Diamondback. Red is just probably the most psycho venomous snake I've dealt with. Today I've had the albino out, the hypermelanistic out, the Massasauga out. I serviced the prairie's cage. I just didn't have to remove it. I'm going to do a little bit of service to Reap. I want to move him out. I'm going to wait to take him out for a full clean after he sheds since his eyes are in blue. We've been through a lot of them today, but I haven't had to mess with Red. Although, she's got a poop in there, but just one I need to handle. She's got a big 6-foot cage. She will bite first, ask questions later. It is nuts. So she is a handful. So she does make me the most nervous for me and for her. She bites herself. She just bites loudly when you try to hook her. So she usually ends up with a hook and a tong. So all the weight's being squeezed with the hook. I can tong her pretty light and just move her as quick as possible. That's usually the operation there. So, yeah, I want to breed the red one. Too, and the red males are not near as bad as the female. The ones born in captivity shouldn't be as bad as the ones that aren't. So I think it will be okay. The Gabby's actually easy. Even when I had the big Gabby, she was easy. She was heavy. She was strong, and sometimes she would fight the initial bit. But they're actually really easy. The problem with Gabby's, and a lot of people say, "Oh, that's a great first venomous snake." I disagree, but it's not because they're hard to handle. I disagree because the assistance, if you have a problem, is not readily available in most places. That's why I say not a good idea for your first one, but they're not hard to handle at all. So, Australian Vins. I don't know what you mean by Vins. The only Australian snakes we have, you're talking about Australian venomous, probably, I guess is what you're saying by Vins, short for venomous. That makes sense. I do not have any. I've never worked with any that I can think of off the top of my head. I've worked some colubrids, but never any venomous from Australia. Not that I wouldn't. I want to go to Australia and go in the bush and see some in the wild, but they're a little hard to get a hold of because of the ban. And we do try to do things on the up and up as much as we can, so I won't be trying to illegally import any Australian snakes. We do keep some non-venomous Australian snakes in our carpets and whatnot, but that's about it. So. All right, anything else, guys? We have to hop up off of here, finish the clean, finish getting some humidity in this thing, and then sliding over to Patreon. Are you looking at people's backyards? I really look at my own backyard sometimes, What is a good beginner venomous snake? So, Joe, that's a good question. And the thing that I usually tell people is I really like your Crotalus species for beginner snakes. It's not because they're simple, far from it. They're quite complex. But I also like things like, my Massasauga would be a great one for a beginner, just due to the size. Prairie is a little flighty. They're not my favorite for that. But the reason for that is because they all take crofab if you're bit. Well, it's very expensive to be bit. You're not going to die. Most likely, there's going to be enough help there for you to get you taken care of. So it's a good one from the aspect that a mistake is less likely to cost your life or less likely to cost an appendage because the help is readily available in most of the country. So basically, the best beginner snake is one that you can get help if you need it. By help, I mean medical help. Also, if you find someone that's got some experience that can help you along at first, I don't think it takes 10 years of tutelage, what some people think, or any of that bullshit. But I do think some good exposure, somebody to walk you through, help you out, let you try it a few times, let you know what you're getting into, is always good to have before you make that jump. That's just my advice. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. Got a little work to do. We'll slide over to Patreon. We'll catch you next time.